point of entry that you're going to use to get into that next building.
Unitas, a Latin word meaning unity, was first conceived in 1959 and held its first exercise in 1960. Over the decades, it has grown into the longest continuously running multinational maritime exercise in the world. In 2025, Unitas returns with expanded scope. While maritime operations remain a core component, this year's exercise also emphasizes military operations in urban terrain, live fire drills, amphibious landings, and cross-domain integration among air, sea, and ground forces. This evolution demonstrates a shift. Modern conflicts often involve complex environments, cities, densely built areas, civilian populations, infrastructure, environments where conventional tactics may not suffice. By opening Unitas to urban operations, participating forces gain critical experience in decision-making under pressure, coordination across services, and adapting to challenging, constrained environments that mirror real-world operational settings. Unitas 2025 brings together military personnel and resources from about 25 partner nations spanning the Caribbean, Central America, South America, and beyond. Among those taking part are nations such as Argentina, Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Ecuador, El Salvador, Honduras, Mexico, and the United States itself. This year marks the largest U.S. Marine Corps involvement in Unitas history. More than 2,000 Marines, together with partner nation forces, are training at Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. What's unique about this iteration is the venue. While Unitas is traditionally held in South America and largely at sea, 2025 includes major training operations inside a Marine Corps installation in the United States. These shifts reflect not only ambition, but also the shared commitment among nations to prepare together for future challenges, combining strengths, exchanging skills, and building trust. Urban terrain presents some of the most difficult challenges for military operations. Buildings, narrow streets, multiple levels, civilian presence, limited lines of sight, all complicate movement, communication, and decision-making. In cities, forces must balance speed with caution. Mistakes could endanger non-combatants or infrastructure. They must maintain situational awareness, where friendly forces are, where threats may appear, how terrain influences movement. Training in urban operations helps soldiers and Marines practice room clearing, stairwell movements, and operating in multi-level structures. Coordinate small unit tactics under constrained spaces. Use cover and concealment. Understanding lines of fire. Maintain communication and coordination when visual contact is limited. Integrate support assets like unmanned aerial systems, intelligence, or indirect fire carefully. At Unitas 2025, multinational teams run patrol lanes through model combat towns, urbanized training zones where troops move through streets, alleys, building facades, simulating real environments. These exercises also test interoperability. How do forces from different nations communicate, share common procedures, combine their strengths under a unified command structure? By repeating drills, exchanging lessons, and refining standard operating procedures, participants strengthen their collective readiness for contingencies that may arise in cities anywhere in the world. Let's walk through how such training might unfold based on standard practices and what's evident in the B-roll. Preparation and briefing. Units meet, plan routes, assign sectors of responsibility, communicate rules of engagement. Leaders walk through maps, rehearse contingencies. Insertion and movement to objective. Forces may insert via ground vehicles, amphibious landing, or helicopter insertion. Movement through terrain with caution. Scouts or forward elements monitor for threats. Clearance of structures. Teams advance to buildings, secure entry points. Room entry, floor-by-floor sweep, securing stairwells. Use of covering fire, suppression, communications. Patrol and control of streets. Patrol lanes in urban zones, coordinate with adjacent units. Reaction to simulated threats. Ambush, sniper, IEDs, obstacles. Support and integration. Unmanned aerial systems provide overhead view. Fire support, if authorized, from indirect assets. medical evacuation, casualty drills, consolidation, and after-action review. After completing the mission, units gather, debrief, discuss what worked, what needs improvement, lessons learned. Throughout, emphasis is on discipline, cohesion, communication, flexibility, and adherence to rules that protect both combatants and civilians in complex settings. No training exercise is without challenges, and those are part of its value. Language and doctrine differences. Troops from different nations may have varied communication systems, procedures, and terminologies. Establishing a common language or standard operating procedures is essential. Technical interoperability. Radios, sensors, drones, and network systems must be compatible or bridged. Cultural awareness. Understanding how allied forces think, their training philosophies and mindsets build smoother cooperation. Fatigue and complexity. Operating in urban terrain is physically and mentally demanding. Maintaining alertness, decision-making under stress, managing logistics in constrained environments. Rules of engagement and legal considerations. Exercises must simulate realistic rules, but within safe, controlled boundaries to avoid accidents or misunderstandings. But it's in facing these challenges that real growth happens. Participants can refine tactics, adapt to surprises, and build confidence working side by side. As Unitas 2025 unfolds across Camp Lejeune and beyond, the lessons drawn here will echo far beyond training zones. By bringing together forces from across the Western Hemisphere, this exercise promotes trust, shared methods, and unified readiness. The urban operations training component emphasizes that modern conflict may not always be at sea or in open terrain. It could be in our cities, among buildings, and people. Ultimately, the strength of this exercise lies in unity. Nations training together to face unknown challenges, learning from each other, and forging stronger bonds. That is the essence of Unitas, not just to train, but to build partnerships grounded in mutual respect and a shared commitment to security. Thank you for watching. We hope this look into Unitas 2025 gives you a deeper appreciation of the unity, complexity, and resolve involved in multinational military readiness.